you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure. Well, Land Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are short of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well, Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 8 minutes past 11. And we have Mr. Elijah Koiki in the house. Let's say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning to you back in the studio. Good morning to all our listeners, our viewers, and those that have been part of Starr Radio UK family. I'd like to say good morning and welcome to the Monday edition of the Starr Radio UK, where we bring you all the latest news and all the information that needs to be known in Nigeria at today, 13th of June, 2022, 9 minutes past. I know we've been away for again another 3 days, but it's for the benefit and the good of Starr Radio UK. But we are back fully again this week, and I can assure us there will be nothing to miss. But I know that Archie has been doing the best to give you all the latest news. But I'm back now to give us everything that has happened in Nigeria. But not just only in Nigeria, there was a big noise in UK. I'll be discussing all that later on.
Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Yes, last week, but today in-house. All right, then. Yes, so how are you? How was your weekend? How is the family as well?
Well, the family, I always say, the Japanese say, when you are doing very well, be rest assured that the family will not lack. When you talk about the family, just this morning, I was telling, because I had a short program on my platform, and I was saying to some of my listeners from around the globe, especially those in Nigeria, that at least, even if I don't have money in my bank account, and sometimes we don't as diaspora, for not because we don't have, maybe you're waiting for your payday, which you are guaranteed that you will have money. But the most important thing is, should any of the children be sick, you don't have to worry, because the government that you have paid your contribution through the tax and others will take care of them. And I was given the equivalent for those that might not understand in Nigeria, that you probably would collect 15,000 naira, equivalent of 20 pounds, to all our children that are living here in UK. Nigeria has such money, but we will talk about all these. But the most important thing is the family is doing very well, and we can always be grateful while we are still alive.
Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you. Nice to have you back. Now, before we go to the event that took place in the UK and all the others, let's quickly look at Democracy Day that was supposed to be celebrated yesterday. The 12th is supposed to be the 12th of June. Now, was it celebrated? How did people take it? And how has the participation been so far? Do you see people getting themselves ready for the 2023 elections with the APC nominating their flag bearer, Tinubu, who is going to be the president? What is it?
Yeah, bear with us as usual. I know we're having.
Hello, Yomi.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I do know that we're having, some internet glitch, which we're going to be resolved, hopefully before the end of this week. And that's the reason why there was some kind of break in transmission. But what we can say is that we do apologize to our listeners, but be rest assured that Starr Radio UK is working on that. Yes, Democracy Day, and what led to Democracy Day that a lot of the politicians in Nigeria have enjoyed is nothing more than, the death of one man that has led to where we can talk about democracy. His name is Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. He's only been recognized some few years ago as GCFR, a president that was never given the opportunity. We wouldn't know, maybe, to change the dimension. If you just give me about maybe 10 seconds, I'm going to come back on.
Yes, listeners, just bear with us. As we are broadcasting from home, we do have the little ones as well who are assisting our production back at home, working on some of the issues. So he's working on it, and it's for Yomi on there. But what do you think about the Democracy Day? Chief MKO Abiola, the late, because of him, I mean, in recognition of his life and the fact that he could have been the president, he was voted into power. As Nigerians have said, that was one of the free and the fairest election that ever took place in the country. But it wasn't accorded that the position to rule or to be able to become the leader of the country. Would that have changed the fortunes of Nigerians? Would they have come to a point where now there's lots of secessionists in a particular part of the world? What do you think about all that? Mr. Lenny will be bringing you more on that front. But wherever you are, we just want you to stay tuned and don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and we have Yomi back. Let's go back. Yes, Democracy Day.
Democracy Day, like I was saying, all led to, just as you were analyzing it, the death of the late Chief MKO Abiola. And to be interesting part of it is, one of the wife is one of the real movement of the Yoruba nation. We're going to talk about that. I'm talking about someone that was as closest to how and when the death of late Chief MKO Abiola. She even talked about the declaration he did that we could not do the same mistake for the Yoruba self-determination as a lot of people have been asking. But we're going to come back to that. The late Chief MKO Abiola, was born August 24, 1937. And as we all know, he died in the hands of, again, the government of the day then. What led to his death was what we can call, the 1993, June 12, the most freest election that you can ever think of. Then what happened is, his closest friend, again, is someone that a lot of people now is asking the question. I'm talking about the former president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, and we got to also specify a Fulani man that also gave the assurance, according to the wife, that has continuously given all kinds of knows more about the late Chief MKO Abiola, and we will have a lot of
just bear with us.
we will have so much to talk about. But one thing before, I know that, again, the internet really giving us a bit of a glitch this morning, but we will see if we can manage it. If not, I might have to drop a little bit downstairs and maybe that will stabilize it. But for now, we just continue. So what I can say is the death of the late Chief MKO Abiola that we do know was an assassination because they just wanted to take him out. Not just because the law he has for Nigeria, but because there were some what we call the cabals that knew that Chief MKO Abiola might change the poverty, the genocide, things that we're experiencing after that death of Chief MKO Abiola. He wanted to change a lot of things, but not just the cabal. Some international community would not want somebody, a very high intelligent man that finished at the University of Glasgow. And now we can say the government recognizes him, but the question is, does the world recognize this man, even though he had access? And when I say access, to the White House, to all over the world. At some point, he was asked whether he could become the UN General Secretary, that he turned down. The wife again said during one of the interviews, why do you want to really go for the president? You have everything. You are wealthy. You are known around the world. He said one thing, and one thing is, for the sufferness of the people in Nigeria, that is the only reason he wanted to be a president, that he never did.
Well, from this all the way, making sure that he wanted to see what's going to happen when it comes to the Well, would that have changed the secessionist secession groups that are going on in various parts of the country, or would that have changed the fortunes of Nigerians as a whole? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Because of the internet playing up, so we'll just go straight on to the stories that's making the round. Now, let's quickly hop on the event that took place in London, the big event.
Well, the big event that took place in London, as against the one that was happening in Nigeria, was the recognition protest or the recognition rally that took place in United Kingdom, where the Yorubas came out in their large numbers to tell again the UK government to recognize and think about, the future, the relationship that they can have with the Yoruba people as against the one that we have with Nigeria that was amalgamated in 1914. Just maybe if you take me off, I might probably maybe just change the direction, the direction, and then maybe the internet will be a little bit stable.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Whilst Mr. Olaimi Koiki is trying to get that, so that protest that took place was to help. Is the recognition protest by the direction, and then maybe the internet will be a little bit stable. Okay, thank you. Whilst Mr. Olaimi Koiki is trying to get that, so that protest that took place was to help. Is the recognition protest by the Yoruba people who are still looking at breaking away. But my question has been, has the momentum actually died down a bit? Because when we had Chisande Igboho leading the flock, let me put it that way, and making sure that he was making lots of noise before his attempted attack in his house, and that caused him to flee the country, and then his arrest at Benin as well until when he was released. Now, do you think the momentum has died down? Or, as some people say, when you see the sea still, or you go mid-seas and then deep seas, and you see the sea seems to be still, you think that there are no waves or anything of the sort happening, then you might be wrong, because behind that there might be some strong current underneath the surface. Now, what do you think about all that? Well. Mr. Olaimi Koiki will bring you more on that front, on the protests that took place in London over the weekend as well. Now, other stories that we're going to be looking at is the parents. That is the various parties who have got their own presidential candidates and stuff like that. Now, who are they going to be picking as their running mates? Now, we know that the PDP leader, who is from the north, Atiku Abubakar, will definitely choose somebody from the south to be his running mate. Now, as whether he's going to choose somebody from the southeast, which the southeast have been clamoring for, that we have to be leaders of the country, or we have to be given or ceded the position to run as president for the country, which we've not had the privilege of. And we know what one of their cries has been the marginalization of that group, okay, or that region. And do you think, that's one question I need to find out, do you think that if they choose a running mate from the southeast, it will appease them or not? We'll be looking more into that. We have Mr. Olaimi Koiki back. So now let's go back to him. We hope that the internet is stable now. It looks like that. Okay, so Yomi, let's go on to the recognition protest that took place.
Well, like I said, that recognition protest, started from the National Gallery in central London at exactly 11 o'clock, where more than 500 Yoruba from different parts of the globe, came down, in their numbers. Also, we then led from there to number 10 Downing Street. But not just that alone, it was then moved to the Parliament again, where a 1 minute silence was done for the late Chief MK Abiola, like we've mentioned. And also remember that the week yesterday was exactly 1 week that people were killed at Owo in Ondo State by the Fulani terrorists that took place in that particular state. Likewise, from there, we moved to the Nigerian High Commission and then end back again to the Trafalgar Square. Those that spoke, Chief Sunday Igboho sent his message that was, put out, and likewise, like I said, the closest person that knew more about the death of Chief MQ Abiola, I'm talking about Chief Mrs. Abiola Onitiri. She also sent a message and a greetings and the reason why the Yorubas, should be out of Nigeria, as we speak right now. Also, the leader of the movement, Professor Banja Akitoye, also spoke from Benin Republic. Remember, he has been in Benin Republic ever since Chief Sunday Igboho, was also about to be assassinated, and he had to move to Benin Republic. So all that was not just, for those that were at that event yesterday. I can also say that over 1 million people from around the world were also glued, to watch the whole, protest. We also had more from Ghana, also from Libya, from Malaysia, and likewise from Sacramento in America, in California, all over the world. There was a peaceful gathering of the Yoruba people that are saying now to the world they want a recognition to finally opt out of Nigeria.
Well, listeners, Mr. Olaliko, I keep bringing you updates from Nigeria. We thank you very much for staying with us. But on the recognition protest, now, let me ask you one question. I mean, I know that you affiliate with the Oduduwa, okay? Do you think the momentum has died down after the attack on Chief Sunday Igboho's residence? Do you think the momentum has died down?
Well, I might think so, but I would say that I would not think so, because we know that those back home, which we are really, people might say that maybe it's the diaspora that probably want a change in Nigeria. But yesterday, it was again proved otherwise, with also thousands of Yorubas that were also at the MK Abiola Stadium to again remember him and again to ask for recognition of the Yoruba people. After I came back home, I was watching all the videos, and I can tell you that the Yorubas at home are as much as ready, and now also more in numbers. Remember that 5 million Yoruba people.
Okay, listeners, bear with us. Yes, okay, we have Yomi back. Yes, go on.
And the purpose of that petition is nothing more than to ask, for recognition of the Yoruba nation. So when we say that we have people that wants to keep support present government or wants to have a PDP or APC, or those that are also asking for Peter Obi, which has been one of the very important one on the social media as well, because a lot of the youth are vying for Peter Obi. But again, 5 million Yoruba people have also spoken that they also want recognition out of Nigeria.
Well, so let's start reading UK. Now, before we go to some of the other stories that you have, now with the various parties, the major parties, so let's talk about the PDP and the APC. We know we have got a third force. Is that Peter Obi's party? One of the parties,
yeah,
Peter Obi's party.
Yeah, the third force.
Yeah. So now, do you see any of Atiku Abubakar like this picking somebody from the southeast or from the southwest? And if he picks anybody from that particular part of the world to become his running mate, would that appease the secessionists?
Well, it's going to be a very big one for the big two political parties, both APC and PDP, and the reason for that is nothing more than the fact that these two political parties will have to not just get someone that will align to what we can call the northern part of the PDP as a presidential, candidate, as against the southwest of the APC of Tinubu, that is contesting under the APC. They would also might not able to bring in a northern Muslim or a northern Christian, a northern Muslim rather from the PDP. So I hope you got the message.
Yeah.
So PDP has Atiku, is a Muslim. Tinubu is a Muslim. Now they would have to get a Christian to balance it, and that Christian from the PDP aspect would not have to come from the north. It has to come from the southeast to please the southeast and the Biafra. And they're going to be having a 1 million march in Belgium on the 14th and the 15th, where it's going to be a very big one again. as they are also demanding a total recognition and to opt out of Nigeria peacefully. But from the southwest side, where the APC have channeled their presidential ticket to, they would also have to get a northern Christian as against a northern Muslim, a Muslim ticket, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's a very delicate one for them. But like I said, it is still something they have to look at. And looking at the headline, APC may unveil Tinubu's running mate on Wednesday. The party is focused on the Northeast. We would have to wait. Who is going to be coming from the Northeast that the APC would have to bring in? They probably would have to look at it. But according to what we have, Tinubu will conclude consultation with the party stakeholders, including the governors, by Tuesday tomorrow, and would announce his running mate. So it doesn't seem he wants to leave that too late, so that maybe people might look into it quickly and decide that they will have to settle with that. It was also learned that the APC governors and the stakeholders had agreed that the Northeast should produce the vice president of the party. Tinubu, who emerged the APC presidential candidate at the party's primary on Wednesday, might settle for a Muslim as his running mate. I do know from intelligence that he is currently again in London for medical treatment.
Well, as I said last week, I said, well, somebody who was under the flag and you could see that his hands were shaking. He needed help to hold that flag, and he want to be the president of the country. Well, maybe he has people around him who will be doing the work, and he will be chilling out in London for medical treatment. What do you think about that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Mr. Koikimedia in our North London studios. I'm Archie in the South studios. Okay, so we'll go to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, 29 minutes past 11, and let's go straight to it because of the time constraint this morning. Once again, you're watching the Starr Radio UK morning show, and my name is Ola Yomi Koiki. Blackout worsened as the grid collapsed for the 5th time in 2022. The APC, during their campaign, did promise Nigeria that they will provide power, they will provide everything that Nigeria needs, but that doesn't seem to be going according to that. So blackout worsened as grid collapsed for the 5th time is the headline. Democracy Day, governors demand credible election. OPC don't decry feeding bottle federalism. It seems that more people will be more interested in the election that might come true or might not come true, depending on which side of the coin that you're looking at it from. But according to what we know, the state governors and other dignitaries on Sunday made a case for credible elections in the country. And the question again is, have there ever been a credible election before 1959? Because we know that the first election was rigged by the British government in 1959, and the most freest election in 1993 was again rigged, by another, Fulani, President, General Muhammad Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, that promised the late Chief MK Abiola that he would hand over power to. But it seems that the power, according to the social cultural group, Ayo Adebanjo, that the North does not want to leave power. But now that they've shifted the power, according to what we know, the present government to APC to the Southwest, does that mean that everybody will also align? Because what we've seen is, just after the primaries, there's also been some decamping from the APC to the PDP. So we're going to see how it goes. Democracy Day celebration commenced at the Eagle Square is the headline, as we also go into, I won't withdraw from senatorial race, despite PDP candidate. It is only in African countries, it is a do or die affair when it comes to election in African countries. So that is also coming from the headline this morning. We're going to go straight to one or two more, and then I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. Once again, if you've just joined us, remember that Starr Radio UK, you can follow us on all the social media handle. But the best way to listen to Starr Radio UK is to visit our website, www.starradiouk.com, where you can listen to the podcast, the entertainment, the blogs, all the reporters, where you can find out the reggae and the property hour and everything that you need to know, especially when it comes to the money man himself, where he gives you how to save cost, especially in a country like United Kingdom, where everything is rising as very fast as you can think so. So let's go back again to more Auto headline, and then I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. Politics is really playing at the moment, but I love to look at the business because, they can play politics, but millions of Nigerians still remain as #1 capital poverty of the world. Experts raise alarm as political spending and others pushes the currency in circulation. What we do know is, from evidence-based, even those that arrived from America, because one of our listeners that came back to Nigeria, she has actually left back to America, could not even get the dollar. Remember, when you send money to Nigeria, it has to be given to you in a dollar rate from the bank. But the question is, throughout the time she was in Nigeria, she couldn't withdraw any money. That was her money that she worked for in America, because there was no dollar in the banking system where she wanted to withdraw the money. Because they're not going to give her naira, because that's the new guideline. But expert raises alarm as the political spending and others pushes currency in circulation. Fixed income trade on Nigeria rises by 687 billion in May. And again, Fidelity, Unity Bank, and 7 others reported 227 billion insider loans to directors. I'm going to look into that, because it is the layman that is suffering, but it is the big man that knows everything about inside trades. It's not just almost everywhere. In the sporting arena, we know that there are inside businesses that goes on, and just like the bank as well. According to the story, Fidelity Bank PLC and 8 other deposit money banks in Nigeria granted a sum of 226 billion naira loans and advanced to entitles control by the key management personnel and related parties in 2021. Analysis of the bank's 2021 financial account as reviewed. This is an increase of 11.5% from 202 billion naira loan advance granted by 9 banks to key management personnel and related party. That means that the money that should have been used for most Nigerians that are struggling, whether the artisans or those that just wanted to set up a small-scale business. If you don't have the big collateral that you can never get, there's no way you'll be getting money from some of these banks. Let's look at some of those other banks that are involved in this inside trading. The Unity Bank of PLC, Wema Bank, Access Holding PLC, United Bank of Africa, UBA, Zenith Bank, Guaranty Trust Holding, and the FCMB Group and Sterling Bank. These are high-end banks in Nigeria that could not lend Nigerians money, but they were doing inside trade. As we do know, like I said, this happened across the globe. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio because of time constraint. And then when we come back, we're going to go straight into what is happening on the social media before we bring the show to an end.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olaimi Koiki in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, looking at some of the stories making the rounds from Nigeria. Updates from Nigeria that comes your way every weekday from 11 o'clock. Now, Yomi, interestingly, you did talk about the permutations that we were looking at earlier on. But my question is, people with the protest that you saw, the video that you saw and everything, are people ready to still go and vote? And if they are, what percentage do you think are ready to? Okay, yes, we are fighting for Dodoa, we are fighting for indigenous people of Biafra, we don't want to be part of it, but still, some people want to go. What percentage do you think are willing to go and vote?
And that might just take us back into the social media, because the fight of the Nigeria today is all happening on the social media, because the social media has actually opened up, the engagement. The social media has opened up what a lot of people never knew about who Nigerians are, or who is in Nigeria, or what Nigeria is all about. But like you did talk about that, it all happened at the TBS, which is Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos, where there was a concert. You will probably thought maybe there was a jamboree, or maybe there was a celebrity coming. It was nothing more than the youth defy the rain to get their PVC for what we can call a mega turnout. Even the INEC chairman was right there. There were music, there was everything. Lagos youth defy rain to get PVC at the mega concert. The event was organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission, YEGA Africa, and the European Union. Again, the European Union that again, a lot of Nigerians from the other side are saying whatever happened at the Berlin conference is having big impact in most African countries, but yet they are there again to monitor, the youth collecting their PVC. Nigerian youth and stars defied the rain when they attended the Youth Vote Count Mega Concert 2.0 at the Tafawa Balewa Square on Saturday. But here in Sunday, most of the youth that we met at Trafalgar Square, at the Parliament Square, at the Downing Street, and the Nigerian High Commission, I'm talking about the youth that came with their parents, are saying they want a total freedom out of Nigeria.
Well, interesting one. So as whether our those who are listening, the youth are going to branch off from the agenda of Oduduwa, or they still want to use their voting power, their term, to change situations there. Are they able, and which one do you think is going to resolve the situation for us? It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. You can put some comments on our Facebook page, and I promise you I'm going to read that. Or when the lines are open, you can add your voice to the discussions. But now let's go back to Yomi for some of the stories making the rounds on the social media platforms and others. Over to you, sir.
Well, Peter Obi for president is trending right at the trending news from Nigeria this morning. Again, Peter Obi, as we know, is the candidate for the Labour Party, and it looks like more people, more youth will prefer him as against, the devil that they've known before. So let's take a look at, one or two people, that have put a comment around Peter Obi. This person says, retweet for Peter Obi, like for Kwankwaso, and the person also says, a friend once told me in March that before the end of May, the Peter Obi movement will be a forgotten story. Today, he called and said, AGK, how I go take join Una movement? What is coming is bigger than what we imagine. The question we got to remember is, should even Peter Obi become the president, or after the election and is becoming the numbers that is more bigger than the APC and the PDP, will they allow him for the final result? Remember, the APC is in government. Even though PDP decided to give it back to the APC, they could have manipulated it, but they let it go because Jonathan does not have any blood in his hand. Are we going to see this government doing so, or the Yorubas and the Biafra will probably have left before the election? All this is going to be an interesting time, as we continue, what is coming up. Democracy Day was also trending, and also June 12th is on number 4, and I'm going to take one or two from June 12th. I'm going to come back to you. And looking at that from at Yoruba Nation, London, UK, Yoruba Independence Rally, which was yesterday, with all beautiful pictures and the flag. And like I said, a 25-meter long flag was also unveiled yesterday in London. Also, these are from the Senegal, the Yoruba One Voice Senegal chapter for a greater Yoruba nation. 1999 constitution is a fraud. Yoruba nation now. Hashtag Yoruba nation now. Also, according to the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, inspection of guards by the special guest of honor, President Muhammadu Buhari, during the 2022 Democracy Day celebration at the Eagle Square. I'm going to take one more. And this particular one again is coming from India. Support Yoruba Nation now. Yoruba One Voice. India, Mumbai chapter. All out for the June 12 global rally. So you can see that, like I said, the fight is not just only on the social media. It is also where people can gather. And yesterday, we saw that people came from Scotland, Denmark. Someone actually flew back from Nigeria. So rather than have the June 12th rally in Nigeria, he decided to have it here in London. And like I said, time will tell the situation as we see it in Nigeria. But remember that Starr Radio UK will be covering everything that you need to know. I'm going to give how many days left before the election or no election, as we know that both sides are demanding recognition, while some are saying we still want to be part of Nigeria. And as I can say to you, 242 days, 13 hours, 17 minutes, and the seconds keep coming down. Whether there will be no election in Nigeria or whether there will be, everybody will find out as time continues to push for it.
Well, listen, it's Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you. Do you have any comments pertaining to what we discussed? Feel free and post it, and then we will also read that out as well. Now, You said Chief Abiola, Mrs. Abiola will be joining you on Niger Voices on Wednesday.
Yes, that is already been finalized, and she has said that everything that we need to know, especially for our listeners on Star Radio UK, she'll be pouring it out. So if you are not aware, keep the time and the date for Wednesday this week, where Chief Mrs. M.Q. Abiola, the wife of the late Chief M.Q. Abiola, she was with him throughout the contest, the primaries, in Jos, everything that you might want to know, about MQ Abiola before he was picked up. She was the last person. And she did talk about it, that she shouted so much that they were going to kill her husband, but nobody took it serious, and he was finally killed. And that is why she has said again, that this time around, we will not do the same mistake that her husband did, by declaring to be the president in Ekpetedo in Lagos. If we're going to declare Yoruba nation, we will put all the measures in place so that we do not do the same mistake that her husband have done. All these, you will find out more when she's come with us on Star Radio UK Niger Voices at exactly 6 p.m. It is a program that you don't want to miss. And I can assure you, as a lot of people have said, they say she's a very, very fire woman when she's speaking with her boldness.
I hope that if you've not listened to Niger Voices before, at least let it be your first time. Listen to it, and I tell you, you will never want to miss it at all. Now, a quick one on the 1 million signatories petition thing, because I knew that she was part of the people who were speaking for that.
5 million.
5 million, my apologies. Now, what has happened to it? Has there been any response from the federal government? Has there been a response from the UN? What has happened?
Well, what she said is, and she's going to be talking more on that as well, because, there's also the process of, the passport that is currently ongoing right now. What she has said is 5 million petition from the Yorubas have now been sent to 100 countries around the globe, including the United Nations. They are giving the United Nations ample of time, but what she said is, whatever, even if the United Nations should not look into it, they will continue with the final stage of what they want, which is the Yoruba nation. So yes, 100 countries out of the 195 have received that petition. Some, according to her, are now prepared to work with the Yoruba people, and they're just waiting for the final touch. And like she said, which she's going to be explaining when she comes on Star Radio UK on Wednesday during the program, she'll be telling us a little bit more about 5 million petition is now in the hands of 100 countries around the globe.
Well, listeners, so do you think that you have any questions for Chief Mrs. Abiola? Feel free and just send it to us in the studio. We'll serialize it all nicely, and Mr. Laimi Koiki will be putting it across to her, so that your questions can be addressed as well. But as much as we can, whilst on the program, if you put your comments or anything, we'll be reading that as well. Okay, Yomi, before we go.
Well, don't touch the dial, because you still have Archie to take you through, the last part of the segment of today's program. But be rest assured that I will be back again same time tomorrow at exactly 11 o'clock. Once again, this is Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. If you're sending money home to your loved one for the first time, you can also remember to use Send Waves, and you can also take advantage of the code, which is S for Star, R for Radio. My name is Olami Koiki, and I'll be back again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Listeners, that was Mr. Olami Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. I'm going to take a music break.
Bye for now, everybody.
And then
I gotta go now. Come back later if I can. If not, you join me at a late night. Odabo. Ekpade Iyawa MK Abiola níjọ́ Wednesday lórí Star Radio UK Niger Voices ní aago 6 nírọ̀lẹ́. Time kan náà là ń lò pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, Chief Mrs. MK Abiola will be coming to Niger Voices on Star Radio UK níjọ́ Wednesday. Ó máa gbóná gan, ó máa lárinrin. Bye for now.